There is no honor amongst thieves. Those who are willing to engage in immoral and dishonest practices will not act differently, even to their own kind. This video is not about the many crimes of Andrew Tate. There are several others you can go watch that go into more depth about the despicable things he and his brother have done. The aim of this video is to speak to the people who still believe in him. The young men who have been brainwashed to see him as their savior. To let them know that Andrew Tate is everything he claims to hate. Unlike the positive traits of masculinity, like truth and strength that he claims to uphold, in the real world, he's nothing but a liar who is willing to do anything for a quick check, even turn on his most loyal fans. Let's start with a fun one. First, he hates crypto. Andrew Tate has famously been against crypto, stating many times that he doesn't need to scam his fans to make money. In his own words, just last year, any influencer who has anything to do with crypto is a scammer who robs their fans. He regularly insults crypto bros in his content.
They've missed so many lessons on the path to wealth that wealth used to teach. So these men aren't men, they're amplified dorks. And now they're all over Twitter with their little NFTs and their little cartoon faces to get their something.
Describing it as a lazy path to financial freedom. To him, it's a get-rich-quick scheme that doesn't require any work. He claims all they do is stare at their screens and keep their fingers crossed, waiting for their coins to go up by some stroke of luck. He's called them dummies and berated them for joining Telegram communities where these coins are often launched and managed. And to be fair, he's mostly right. At least, he was. Imagine the shock when this same person, less than a year later, started advertising his own cryptocurrency.
We're building a revolution here. We're fixing the crypto space once and for all. And to do that, I need to find the soldier. I let the coin go down to try and get the Jeeps down.
People speculated that the reason he got into crypto was that he was losing his millions, because it was around the same time he had to flee Romania after getting charged with some, let's say, bad crimes. You know, some of the ones that you can find in those other videos I mentioned earlier. In fact, he announced the new coin with the same tweet where he announced his freedom from the country. His coin, named Daddy, was in direct opposition to Australian rapper Iggy Azalea's meme coin called Mother, which she launched around the same time. This was supposedly Andrew's attempt to dethrone hers, but this seems sketchy at best. It was just another excuse for him to pursue making more money using cryptocurrency. Because there is no such thing as karma in this world, of course, his scam started to pay off. Soon after he began promoting Daddy, it reached a market capitalization of over $217 million. And if you know Andrew Tate, you know he'll be bragging about that. And that's just what he did. Yet again, young men are buying into his risky financial schemes. What they seem to have forgotten is that Andrew Tate hasn't been entirely honest with his crypto takes. He endorsed and aggressively marketed the Roost meme coin, splashing the coin's logo on different merch which he featured in his videos. People took the bait and bought it in droves. Unfortunately, its market value came crashing down by 90% in no time. Its treasury wallet, owned by some random guy, was also allegedly hacked. All the funds in it were stolen. The same story played out over 10 Solana meme coins, most of whose value dropped by over 99% shortly after Andrew Tate endorsed them. His response was this tweet, quote, "Having the power to randomly pump any coin on the chart is super fun." If that doesn't sum up the kind of person he is, maybe his OnlyFans debacle will. Andrew Tate famously hates OnlyFans.
The gayest thing you can do is buy pictures of a chick's tits. Every single girl who's making huge money on these platforms are doing it either for a man or by the direction of a man.
In fact, he regularly preaches to his audience his entire disdain for the adult entertainment industry. Although given his known history, that might not be entirely accurate. A more apt statement might be something like, oh, I don't know. Andrew Tate hates any kind of adult entertainment that he doesn't directly profit from or control. Andrew Tate has said openly that he's made millions by running a webcam gig, where he hired women to act as webcam models and emotionally manipulate men into sending them money. He was supposed to share these proceeds 50-50 with the women, but even that was a bit too much for Andrew. So instead, he would tell the girls that he had to pay taxes, which he didn't, and pocket around 70% of the revenue instead, leaving the girls with just 30%. Mind you, these women were not allowed to leave the house the Tate brothers put them in, and many of them were literally marked like property. Knowing all of this, Isn't it strange that Andrew Tate still berates the men who use OnlyFans? Especially because that's primarily how he made his money. While OnlyFans is not a perfect platform, and it does have rightful criticisms, such as taking too much of a cut from its content creators, last time I checked, OnlyFans doesn't keep your passport under lock and key, limit your communication with friends and family, and lie to you about how much you need to pay. However, just like he does practically on every matter out there, Andrew Tate has shared interesting views about the platform. In an interview with Kick streamer and YouTuber Aiden Ross 2 years ago, Andrew Tate said he had no problem with OnlyFans.
If my chick said, I want to do OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool.
In fact, he referred to himself as a feminist. The jury's still out on that one, emphasizing how he felt like women could do whatever they wanted on the platform. There was, of course, one caveat. He mentioned his opinion of how he felt his woman ought to give him the money from her OnlyFans, but that's hardly a surprise given his history of luring women in and promising a relationship only to then use them to make money for him. What was notable about Tate's interview was how he called men out for subscribing to women's OnlyFans. A man who bought products on OnlyFans was being stupid, as far as Andrew was concerned, and the women would only yield supply to the demand they got from these stupid men. Yet, Andrew Tate has jumped on the stupidity of men he claims to be fighting for to enrich his own pockets. It's like a doctor telling you cigarettes are terrible for you, only to then turn around and try selling you those very same cigarettes. In June of 2023, Romanian prosecutors accused Andrew and Tristan, his brother, of forming an organized criminal group in 2021. They claimed that the group had worked with 2 Romanian women to traffic women across Romania, Britain, and the United States. There was also a rape charge lurking in there for Andrew. Apparently, 7 women had come forward to allege that Andrew and Tristan had conned them into romantic relationships, and rather than the love and affluence the men had promised, they were met with bondage within the Tate home on the outskirts of Bucharest, Romania. These women claimed that Andrew and his brother forced them to appear in adult-rated videos that were shared, and you'll never guess, on OnlyFans. Their modus operandi was allegedly through physical violence and mental coercion. These women in bondage said that they could neither offer nor withdraw consent, so one can only imagine how much the brothers and their accomplices extorted them for monetary gain. They also claimed that the money Andrew Tate and his crew made from their OnlyFans was hidden in accounts that only they knew about. Interestingly, prosecutors in the case revealed that while Andrew Tate paid the women he mercilessly used for his personal gain, they never actually knew how much the real income was. Apart from OnlyFans, the brothers reportedly posted to TikTok too, forcing the women to follow a strict schedule under constant threats and punishing them for not complying in even the smallest things. Now, if you're like me, someone who's actually kept up with Andrew Tate's escapades, it's not exactly surprising that any of these accusations came out, especially given how openly he speaks about his view on women as property and publicly declared himself a misogynist. Why would anyone be surprised if these allegations were true? And while some of the evidence for these crimes is overwhelming, and personally I do believe if there is a sense of justice in this world, Andrew Tate will face the repercussions of those alleged crimes, again, that's not what this video is about. What we're here to talk about is not so much the crimes he's accused of, but rather the front he puts up to his audience. Because despite all his criticisms of OnlyFans and the quote-unquote stupidity of men, Andrew Tate uses those very same men he's preaching to make his money. Coming to our third point, Andrew hates school.
It's read, read, read. It's not do, do, do. It's read, read, read. And that's why most people who come out of school can't do shit. That's why college and university is a complete waste of time.
Quote, I like the idea of just being able to do what I want. I like being free. This is how Hustler University, now known as The Real World, began. The online course invites young men who want to learn how to make money, like Andrew, to subscribe for $49.99 monthly. Once there, you are supposedly exposed to skills like copywriting and e-commerce via pre-recorded videos. But the truth is, The Real World is actually just another pyramid scheme. Call me Illuminati, because today we're talking about an MLM. Minus all the outright plagiarism, of course. Once you find yourself in the real world, you don't actually make money by putting the lessons into practice. You make money by selling the course to other people. It's a classic MLM marketing scheme. The only thing that's worse is, unlike other MLMs, there's only one level, and you stay on that rung forever. You don't even make any money from your downlines. This actually ties into how Andrew Tate became so popular in 2022. The young men who signed up for the platform were encouraged to repost Andrew Tate's content across various social media pages. Soon, he was everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Even when he was banned from these platforms, he milked his audience's eagerness for financial independence for his own benefit. By August of 2022, Andrew Tate was one of the most Googled online personalities in the world. Yes, more than Donald Trump, Kim Kardashian, and the late Queen of England combined. Riding on the wave of people reposting his content, he began to appear in podcasts and interviews, saying all the controversial things we now know him for. Although he marketed the real world as a sort of self-help course, it's clear that Andrew is only exploiting its users for his own financial gain. It's ironic that the influencer who constantly drives men to be independent and stay on the grind relies on his audience for his own wealth, and in the most deceitful ways possible. What he's not telling everybody is the hard work he really does is exploiting the vices of his fans, the very same vices that he, in the same breath, will demean men for falling to. If you know Andrew, you know he's pretty loud about how much better he is than every other man out there.
I have a unique resume. Like, there's a whole bunch of guys on Twitter, but not many like world champion kickboxer, pimp, mafia associated criminal. Like, I've got all this stuff, and everyone's like, who is this dude?
Yet, these very men are the ones he's used to fund his rich lifestyle. Andrew Tate is yet another example in a long list of social media influencers who hide behind a carefully curated online persona to deceive their millions of followers into aspiring to some utopian lifestyle that they've convinced everyone to believe that they live in. It's fine if Andrew wants to hold to his opinions, no matter how deplorable I might find them. My issue is how social media has enabled influencers to propose principles to a large number of users that they don't even adhere to, instead hiding the big picture from them and exploiting them for their own personal benefit. The last thing I want to say is, if you're still an Andrew Tate fan, or maybe you're considering getting into his content, when you see someone who's dishonest, immoral, and unethical, instead of turning him into a savior just because of the number of Lambos he has and beautiful women that surround him, remember, there is no honor amongst thieves. There's a saying that my friend's dad used to say: the only reason the cobra and the mouse are friends is because the cobra has a full belly. When there's nothing else to hunt, you will be its next meal. The most frustrating part about Andrew Tate is how he buries the truth with lies. There is an epidemic of lonely men across the globe. Men who feel disenfranchised, ignored by women, etc. And while he'll say something true, like how physical exercise and proper diet can help you feel better, he then weaponizes those feelings against women. The only thing I have to say is, women are not the enemy. If you're a man and you feel lonely and depressed, there are things you can do to improve your mental health. Working out and eating right is certainly some of them, but also establishing a group of friends in the real world. Joining clubs or picking up new hobbies that fill both your time and possibly that hole in your chest that you're feeling. Your inner thoughts can be some of the cruelest voices in the world. So don't allow yourself to just sit alone with those thoughts. And don't let people like Andrew feed into them with hate and greed.